we go. We're going back down. Pretty cool stuff. Don't worry, it's not dangerous. It's not as dangerous as it looks.
So just a quick disclaimer before I start this video. This video is about how to get your kids to like fishing while they're young. My boys are both younger than 5, but I think these tips could also apply to kids of all ages or even just beginners in general. My first tip is to forget about catching fish yourself and just focus on helping the kids catch fish. If you drag the kids along thinking that you're going to go on a nice fishing trip and catch a bunch of fish yourself and you just leave the kids to fend for themselves, you'll just end up getting frustrated and your kids will end up hating fishing. So when you're out there, put down your rod and teach the kids how to fish. If the fish aren't biting, teach the kids how to cast, how to reel, or how to bait their hook. It might be really hard to resist just fishing yourself, especially if the fish are biting like crazy. Remember that in a way, you're making an investment in a future fishing buddy. Tip number 2 is go on short but frequent fishing trips. I always keep the fishing gear in the back of my car, so I'll be ready to fish at any moment. If I'm driving the kids home from something and my wife says she'll be getting home late, we can stop by a river really quick and catch a few fish, or at least try to. Even if we don't catch fish, getting out frequently and knowing they're not going to be out there for 4 hours will get your kids used to fishing and maybe even get them excited to go. One of the best things you can do is to call it a day while the kids are still having fun. I would say that our fishing trips are somewhere between 30 to 60 minutes of actual fishing. After that amount of time, the kids usually need a break, and so we'll go exploring, or we'll go look for bugs, or we'll just walk around for a while and take a break. Tip number 3 is to get excited about all the wildlife you find on your fishing trips. If you get excited about all the bugs, deer, lizards, frogs, salamanders, snakes, rodents, birds, whatever it is on your fishing adventures, your kids will start getting excited about those things too. And then you don't have to worry about whether or not you're catching fish, because just getting outside and seeing wildlife will be exciting to them. And when you do catch a fish, it will be awesome because they'll get to hold the wildlife, they'll get to look at it for a little while, and just have that sense of being able to catch something is really cool for a kid. Tip number 4, make time to do what your kids like to do outside. What matters most is that they like the outdoors and that they know you like spending time with them in the outdoors. Don't just go fishing with your kids. If they like playing in the water, play in the water with them. If they like hiking, go hiking. If they like climbing on rocks, climb on rocks. Whatever it is that your kids like doing outside, and then they'll be more excited to do the things you like to do outside. Tip number 5 is while you're fishing, let them do as much as possible. Hard as it may be, just let them reel in that big fish. Let them touch the fish. Of course, teach them to keep the fish wet and how to release the fish properly if that's what you're doing. But let them net the fish. If you can keep their eyes away from the hooks, let them hold the fish. Let them try to cast on their own. Let them get their tangles untangled to a degree. You want to help them, but let them be as involved as possible when you're fishing. Don't just have them sit off to the side and wait until you catch a fish so you can show them. Let them be involved in as much as possible. One of my favorite things was seeing one of my sons when he was less than 2 years trying to reel in a carp from the shore. And it was just hilarious to see him try to battle that fish and to see how excited he got when he felt that giant tug on that line for him. Anyway, those are my 5 tips on how to get your kids to like fishing. Again, if you like what you saw today, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe. I would love to have you join the Utah Fishing Channel community and join us for future videos.